Alexis Manore, and I'm editor-in-chief of the Ithaca, and I've been editor-in-chief for the 2021-22 academic year, and this was actually a first full year back in print, which is really cool. It's been kind of rough, but we pushed through it until the end, and I am just so thankful for everyone who has helped out with that. So this is our senior video to kind of honor all the graduating seniors who have worked at the Ithaca throughout all our years here.
I've worked as a staff photographer, the social media editor, the community outreach manager, the managing editor. I've had a podcast. I've worked in the opinion section, and I believe that's everything. I've written a few reviews for Life and Culture.
My favorite photo I took was one of my first assignments when I was an editor, which was at the APP protest for Open the Books, which was one of my favorite photos because it also got picked up by the Chronicle of Higher Education.
One of my favorite and also one of the funniest memories is a Tuesday when Becky Mahorter was chief copy editor. And it was, the night before deadline. We were all in here super late. And then all of a sudden on the whiteboard, Becky started drawing one of the moral alignment charts. And she filled in the chart with every single e-board member based on their personality types. And I thought that was so funny, and I still laugh about it to this day.
I would say the thing I'm most proud of is redesigning the graphics for our Instagram and kind of vamping up the Instagram a bit more and creating more content and more stories and getting more engagement.
Process for redesigning the website, I had to collaborate with the editor-in-chief and the managing editor, and I had to first kind of make like a rough draft, like drew it out what we wanted the website to look like, and we just wanted we had too many repeating images, and we wanted to make it just more focused and more photos based. So yeah, it was a lot of iterative design of these drawings to making like prototypes of the website, and then I had to code it all, which took a lot of months, but yeah, that was the process.
I think my favorite photos and just like overall design, though I didn't design it, was the Cortica photo spread that was done my sophomore year. Me, Ash, and Kristen were on like the field and around MetLife Stadium, and it was just a really fun experience. I think also some of like my back pages from like football, basketball, anything really sports related, since I really do love sports photography, have been some of my favorite pieces that I've done here.
I really like the Life and Culture meetings. Like, they're all fun, but like especially the ones we had to have over Zoom, kind of because they were my only social interaction all day outside of class, was like the one time a week where it's like I could sit down with other students and we could just like talk to each other. And like, of course they were meant to like pitching and like business purposes, but like we'd always end up going off on side tangents and having a bunch of conversations, and basically it would always go, a person would pitch something, and then we would get stuck talking about that topic for a bit, and maybe that would be helpful to them, but then we would just keep talking and talking for like an hour until it's like, okay, well, we should probably go actually do work. But I think it was like a really good thing to have during the pandemic.
My favorite memory in my coverage at the Ithaca was last semester, spring 2021, not last semester, it was spring 2021, covering the Open the Books protests. I tried to make it to every single one. I think I only missed like one or two. I feel like that was the most important work that I ever did, was being there and photographing the anger and the outrage that everybody was feeling about all the faculty and staff that were being fired. It felt really, really important, for us to be covering that as a paper.
I started working with the Ithacan when we were fully remote already. So I would say generally just like finally being able to come into the office and work with everyone and contribute in person was really nice. Like that first day that we were all in here was great. And then I was just generally always really proud of the podcast that we continued putting up and some of the new ones, specifically like Remixing, which was hosted by one of our former Life and Culture editors. That was a really great podcast to start developing. And it eventually went on to win an award for its first episode. So that was really fulfilling, yeah.
My favorite memory with the Ithacan was during the pandemic, surprisingly enough. I was doing photo and got to work with one of the life and culture writers on a piece about the apiaries here on campus. And there weren't many people living in Ithaca, so it was kind of like down to me and her to do this. And we got to get into full bee suits with Professor Jason Hamilton and take photos and learn about how the apiary functioned. And he went through and like opened the little bee containers, as you might call them. And it was just really cool, but also very nerve-wracking because I'm highly allergic to bees. So that's probably my favorite.
We were all here during training week, and that was like before COVID and like before everything, of course, so it was like normal. And so it was before training week, and we were sitting in like a circle like here. And it was my first ever like planning, and one thing that needed to be like decided was promotional videos by Multimedia. And they had the idea to do like, I'm not sure exactly what everything they were gonna do was, but they had one idea to do like a parody of Hotline Bling by Drake. And they were like, okay, well, we still need a Drake for this. And everybody was like dead silent, and I was like, okay, well, no one's gonna volunteer. And so I did. So I raised my hand and I was like, I'll play Drake in Deadline Bling. And there's still a poster up in this office of it.
My favorite memory of just something that I did at the paper, for really no reason. I made like a little cage out of paper. It was not that kind, but it was like a hexagonal sort of cage for my photos, for the fun photos, the ones that we take for the website. And then I was bringing it to the photo shoot and it broke. So I had to like tape it, and then I was all sweaty for the photos. But it was still fun.
I think my favorite memory would be like everything that happened once we hit like 10 p.m. on like a Tuesday and Wednesday night. I think just everyone laughing and being together was just some of my favorite times in college in general, let alone with the Ithacan. So I really value those memories and like the experiences I have with those people.
My advice is to just, like, even though there will be really bad times, and you will be like exhausted and tired and behind on your work, just to remember that like you don't have a lot of time in college and at the Ithacan, and to just like take it in and have as much fun as you can, because it goes by like really fast.
I think for me, I never imagined myself being part of the Ithacan as a freshman, and then even when I declared my park major. And so, because I also never saw myself, I strictly thought of it as journalism, never really saw myself being part of it. And so I was happily surprised to kind of find a place here and really, really enjoy the environment and the work that was being done.
Someone that often struggles with mental health issues and working in a very demanding environment, as news is, not just the Ithacan. One of the most important things that you can do is to make sure you're not overwhelming yourself with work. I know it's really easy and you might feel like you're obligated to say yes to everything that you're asked to do, but one of the best things that you can sometimes do for yourself is say no, because it gives you the opportunity not only to take care of yourself, but to also give more time and energy to the things that you're already working on to make them as best as they can be.
I guess one thing I wish I knew was that like it's okay to take a break, because I think like when you're in it, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to like keep going, and so I thought was like I have to do it every semester for my entire time in college, which is insane. Like that is not possible. You're gonna burn yourself out.
Ithacan already, even though I haven't left yet. I miss the people the most. Like working with the photo staff and working with like our actual photogs has been phenomenal. I made so many great friends here, and I'm so sad to leave everyone.
The Ithacan is like its own little family, and I've made so many great friends here. So like definitely the people. Yeah. Somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. I'm just giving you a whole concert.